mythical creatures, events that defy logic. Now, Sci-Fi Channel has assembled a team of investigators. 4 individuals with different expertise.
You're suggesting it.
And very different perspectives.
Not at all.
So he doesn't believe anything.
It's not that I don't believe anything.
Together, they will search for the truth behind mysteries old and new.
Ooh, we're doing science. I love it.
Archaeologist Bill Doleman.
But how come there's no tangible evidence?
Crime scene investigator Deborah Bobrydney. Paranormal investigator Dolan.
I think that there is secret technology.
And skeptic Mariano.
Kids finding errors already.
The team behind Sci-Fi Investigates. Tonight, the Sci-Fi Investigates team explores the legend of Bigfoot.
This area here has a lot of activity.
A mysterious species of giants living deep in the woods. For centuries, they have fascinated and eluded witnesses around the world.
I realized that wasn't a bear. It was something with a human footprint.
What clues lie in the physical evidence?
I think that there's an extremely high probability that an animal does exist.
Does modern-day science hold the key to unlocking the mystery? Could it all be an elaborate hoax?
Look at this, look, Dad.
Oh my gosh.
Or will the investigators find new evidence? Following up on hundreds of reported encounters, the team travels to Oregon.
We ran into a stench. It really stunk. And we began to hear screams.
Where a mysterious sound pierces the night.
Did you hear that?
Bill, did you hear that?
Yeah.
And tests the limits of their belief.
I definitely heard it. It was absolutely real.
Now, Sci-Fi Investigates Bigfoot.
So we're over here in Oregon and we're looking for a Bigfoot, AKA Sasquatch, and guess who the team leader is? That's right, yours truly.
All right.
Hit him up and move him out. The evidence that we're looking at here in this particular case is basically we have film of alleged Bigfoot sightings. We have casts of the feet of these so-called huge primates, and we have hair samples. And I personally think all of the evidence that they have of Bigfoot would be very easy to fake.
And of course, Rob is like the kid at first grade who tells you that Santa's fake, like all the time, doesn't believe in anything. I really wanted to see some of the hard physical evidence.
I have to say I'm interested in the fact that there have been more sightings than I thought that there were. I've been interested in a long time in a lot of fringe types of topics, most notably UFOs. My feeling is just because we haven't found a skeleton doesn't mean that there isn't an avenue for investigation here.
I see your point, Rich, but these sightings have actually happened all over the world. It's not just here in the Pacific Northwest. And for all the sightings that we have, like Debbie said, we're still yet to produce a specimen.
Actually, I'm more convinced about this than a lot of the paranormal things that we're going to be looking into, just from the background information we've gotten so far.
Are you serious?
Yeah. A lot of real scientific studies. My approach to this is to be as open-minded as possible, to take into account all the available information, including analyses, evidence both of the physical and anecdotal kind.
Everybody was pretty much on the fence whether Bigfoot exists or not. Clearly, I know he does not. Dr. Fahrenbach.
Hi.
How are you? I'm Rob Mariano.
Hi.
We started off the day meeting Dr. Henner Fahrenbach, who is an expert in several aspects of Bigfoot research.
Sasquatches very often take little trees and twist them off. You can still see the hand imprint here and here.
The breakage pattern indicates that it was done by a twisting motion and that it could not have been done by normal human strength. In other words, it had to be done by Bigfoot strength.
People were tracking several tracks. They came to 2 of these twist-offs that were very fresh. They were still bleeding. Both of them had hair in it.
He had some hair samples that are supposed to come from a Sasquatch creature, and he showed us under the microscope how there wasn't any hair coming from a known animal that looked exactly like the Sasquatch hairs.
What's the longest track that you've seen or that you've heard of?
18 miles. It's been tracked. That
18
I know.
miles.
Yes.
He showed us quite a bit of things. He showed us some cast footprints.
Let's start small. This is a baby Bigfoot. You do have,
come on. Now I've heard it all. A baby Bigfoot?
Well,
that's right.
If they live, they gotta have babies. What do you think?
What do you expect them? This is the size where they approximately start walking. And
I did find that the 2 largest footprints showed a morphological feature in the middle that is often called evidence of a metatarsal hinge, which indicates that this clearly is not a big human.
This is a 21-inch foot, so it's going to be, yes, right, roughly 10 feet. This is over 7 feet.
Let me tell you something. If there's anything out there walking around with that big of feet, then I'm in a lot of trouble. And a lot of guys out there are. You know what I mean. Doctor, how many times a year do you get reports of sightings? And have you ever actually seen Sasquatch yourself?
I haven't seen one personally. I've heard them numerous times. I got close enough once to smell it, and I found many footprints and trackways.
What do they smell and sound like?
The smell is extremely nasty. If you can think of a bum that has not washed for about half a year, and you stick your nose in his crotch. That's what it smells like.
That's a good visual.
Okay.
Apparently Bigfoot smells like crotch. Not ass, he smells like crotch. And that's straight from Dr. F. Rich, you believe in this?
I'm still listening. I can tell you've just shut off completely. You're not.
No,
interested
I'm
in
listening.
Okay.
I'm listening, but it seems like a little much. That's all I'm saying.
No,
Rob's whole attitude is he really likes to kind of make fun of the topics that seem strange to him. I have a more humble assumption than you, which is that I don't feel like I know everything. You, however, think you know everything.
Wait,
All
Rich.
I'm saying, Rich, is that this
Right?
and this is not real. I'm not the expert on everything. I just know more than Rich, and he's a little upset. What can I say? Let's see the
500 or
film.
600 pounds.
Right.
We also watched the 2 most credible films, the Memorial Day film of Bigfoot running across the field, and also the Patterson film from 1967.
It disappeared in the forest there, and they did actually follow the footprints in the forest and found that somewhere up in the forest it had stopped and sat down and watched them look at the footprints.
Are there any other films, or is this the only
Well,
one?
there's this Memorial Day footage.
Well, let's see it.
He was right behind that small pine tree, right? Look, that's here. You don't see him right there? I'm freaked.
And the kid almost on cue. I'm freaked.
Just watch the video. Come on.
Just making observations, Rich. I'm taking it all in.
Take it into yourself.
So I got this idea in my head that if I get a suit and do it up really good and with a little bit of help, I think I can make a better film. And next year we'll be watching the Mariano film.
Coming up, Debbie gathers scientific evidence.
I like the fact that the scientific evidence behind the footprint cast with Dr. Meldrum is scientifically based.
And later, the team goes on the hunt for Bigfoot.
I had barely fallen asleep when I heard some kind of commotion. Bill, did you hear that? Yeah.
After we met with the doctor, we decided, you know what, we have to go on an expedition. We have to see if Bigfoot is real. So we hired Autumn Williams, who's an expedition specialist. She's gonna take us out into the field, and hopefully we'll be able to track the big guy.
I got started doing this. We lived in the foothills of Mount Rainier. So I was about 3 years old, and we came around a corner. And as we did, there was an adult creature and a juvenile creature standing in the pathway. It was amazing. I mean, even as a 3-year-old, I have memories of this thing's eyes and how intense the gaze was. And so ever since then, I've been really fascinated by this subject. And we're going to be looking for something that supposedly doesn't exist, but that has scared very many people, about, let's say, maybe 300 people a year we get reports from.
It's almost once a day, every day.
Yes.
Wow.
This is a map of the general area. We've got red for sightings, yellow for tracks, green is for smell reports or other types of reports, like people having stuff thrown at them. So as you can see, this area here has a lot of activity.
We're going to help her with some of the equipment that she uses and actually try and find Bigfoot ourselves.
This is a digital predator collar, and this is something that we're going to be using. It's programmed with 32 digital quality sounds. There's wounded rabbits, that kind of thing, and wounded deer. I mean, which is an excellent tool for us.
Wow.
But what I've also done is I've customized this with purported Sasquatch recordings.
Wow, can we hear one? When I heard the sounds, all I could think of was the people in northern Oregon are doing some freaky things on their own time.
You guys have one more task tomorrow morning. I need you to go to a butcher shop and pick up some beef liver,
Bait.
rabbit meat,
We heard they like to eat the liver first.
and bacon.
Autumn told us that to bait the Sasquatch, we should put out raw meat. So I'm thinking, all right, this is a carnivore that eats meat. I'm made of meat. I wasn't too sure how happy I was at that whole thought.
I really do hope that we have some kind of a encounter, because I would really like to see how they react. Autumn seems like she really knows what she's doing, and she's gonna lead us on a great expedition.
I think Autumn maybe saw something when she was a kid. I don't know. It was obviously real to her. But you know what? There are a lot of other people that have had so-called encounters and experiences, and I'd say we go try to talk to some of them.
The team decided that it was important to speak to some Bigfoot witnesses that have actually had encounters with Sasquatch himself. But we also wanted to make sure we got a look at those casts, which I found to be very compelling evidence. So I left the guys and went to see Dr. Jeff Meldrum, the foremost expert in scientific Bigfoot evidence.
I'm looking forward to using some of the forensic techniques I employ in my work as a crime scene technician in helping to solve this Bigfoot mystery.
Well, here's my lab where the cast collection is kept. There's well over 150, nearly 200 casts here assembled. Debbie, under some circumstances, a footprint cast can actually pick up the fine skin ridge detail of the foot. And one of the ways that we can help to visualize this in the vein of crime scene investigation is to create a thin latex peel of the surface.
Well, humans and primates have friction-ridged skin on our hands and feet, which means that we have lines going in patterns on our fingertips and on our hands. What we're looking for is sort of a rough, really well-defined dermal ridge of the feet, because they walk around barefoot.
There's actually evidence of healed scars.
And you can actually see it has some of the characteristics of human fingerprints, bifurcations, short ridges, ending ridges.
That's right.
For someone to mimic a footprint, I don't think that they would really take the time out to learn about dermal ridge patterns of primates and insert them into the footprint. I like the fact that the scientific evidence behind the footprint cast with Dr. Meldrum is really scientifically based. So my team members and I have viewed the Patterson film, the famous film from 1967. I'm wondering if you have an opinion on what makes that video so real, and do you have any direct physical evidence from that case?
Well, I do. Right here, in fact, these are examples of footprints from that film site. We can watch this film and see the foot of whatever this is go through the precise motions that would be necessary to leave these types of footprints. In other words, these are not just some simple artifice, some prosthetic foot.
I've left some of my doubt behind. My mind is now open. I'm gonna take a better look at seeing if we can find some actual evidence. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Well, for me, it's not a question of belief. My position is based on the evidence as I have encountered it and dealt with it. And based on that evidence, I think that there's an extremely high probability that an animal does exist.
Coming up, the team hears eyewitness accounts.
I realized that wasn't a bear. It was something with a human footprint.
And later, Rob transforms into Bigfoot. But can he pull off his own hoax film?
We decided to find some witnesses because, look, if you're going to investigate Bigfoot, you have to talk to some people who say that they've seen him.
I spent 5 years as a bartender, and let me tell you, I've heard a lot of BS in my life, and I think my BS detector is pretty good.
How you doing? I'm Rob.
Hey, Rob, I'm Luke.
So Luke, tell us. We heard you saw Bigfoot.
We saw something step into the center of the road. When it stepped into our headlights, it kind of turned towards me to where I could tell that it had 2 legs, broad shoulders. He was at least 10 to 15 feet in front of us.
10 to 15 feet.
Pretty close.
Now, Luke, you know I gotta ask you. You seem like a nice kid. Were you guys drinking this day? Or
No, we weren't.
No screwing around, no funny stuff?
No.
Could it possibly have been a bear?
No. But what I did see was the print. And that's when I realized that wasn't a bear. It was something with a human footprint.
I found Luke pretty much totally believable. I didn't sense that he was making this up.
The second witness was named Phil. He's a very concise gentleman.
Turned around and something, I don't know, about 7 feet tall, took a step in the middle of the creek and across. And it smelled real musty smell to it.
What color did it look to be?
I'd just have to say probably a 2-tone brown.
Did you go inspect the area where you saw it? Like for footprints or to see any evidence of what had passed through there?
No, I just got out of there.
Did you stay?
It was big and fast, and I wasn't planning on hanging around. I've been in the woods my whole life, and I've never seen anything like it.
I gotta tell you, he seemed pretty credible himself. I can't really see a motivation these guys would have had from saying they saw Bigfoot. I mean, it's definitely not gonna get you a hot date. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna stop bright and early. First thing, we're gonna hit the butcher shop. We're gonna get all of Bigfoot's favorite foods and see if we can tempt them. Now we're talking.
We just take the room.
This is my liver supply.
Yeah, that's probably a perfect amount. Yeah.
This place has never been broken into by a Sasquatch?
Never know.
I think Autumn said 3 pounds. That's all I'm...
Okay. That is a beef liver?
That's a beef liver.
Whoa.
Alrighty, how much is this? That's a lot more than 3 pounds, that's for sure.
So we got the liver.
You got your liver.
We got
the rabbit.
Got the rabbit.
And then
bacon.
The bacon.
Rabbit, quick.
And I need a roast beef sandwich too.
Woohoo! Sasquatch, here we come.
Looks like the team's here. Come here. Oh, cool. Hi, guys.
Autumn.
How you doing?
Nice to see you again.
You too. I want to introduce you to Sky.
Hi, Sky.
How are you?
My
My
name's
research
Rich.
partner. He's going to be helping us out. There is one thing I wanted to discuss with you guys that we did not talk about the other day. When Sky and I were up here about a month ago, we ran into a stench. It really stunk. And we began to hear screams. That's the reason that we picked this location for our expedition this weekend. So that's very encouraging.
Great.
Little information we could have used yesterday.
Now, if you guys would help us unload the gear, we'll get that out of the truck and we'll get up there.
It was about a 20-minute hike uphill, and Mr. Macho had to carry, I think, every possible piece of gear, plus like an 80-pound cooler.
We don't have a lot of time, and we have to get camp set up, and then we also got to get all our research stations set up before dark.
Boy, this is the deep woods, huh? Gee whiz.
Come on, give it a hug. Be a tree hugger.
There's the truth comes out. Bill and I and Debbie were in the back of the pack. Ranger Rich was right up front with the Bigfoot people.
Watch yours.
And we decided to play a little joke on them.
What the hell's going on? Not that I really wanted to walk halfway down the trail again.
Apparently, bad timing, because she didn't take it too lightly.
Give me one more whoop.
Oh no, hold on, here she comes.
Just out of curiosity, I thought you guys were behind me. What happened?
Oh, we just stopped to rest. We're kind of feeling pooped.
Normally when we do calling, we do it under controlled circumstances. So if we just all start kind of yelling and whatever, that's one way to do it.
Autumn came back and she bawled me out.
We were up there and we heard that, and we of course reacted. And it's just a Bigfoot.
I apologized to her, and I understand completely. You know, she's the researcher and she's the one who should have the control.
This is it?
We need to get our tent set up pronto because we have a whole bunch of stuff to do. So grab a tent, pick a spot, let's get set up.
All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm going down here then.
Good luck, Rich.
See you later, Rich. Oh, let Bigfoot get you.
I just want to go out by myself.
Tired of us, huh?
I love you guys, but I want to camp out by
mad.
myself. I feel like I'm the dad here. I got like these 3 kids, even Bill. I got to deal with these people, kind of keep them on track. And at times I just don't want to do it anymore. I got kids of my own. I don't need to do this 24/7 with these guys.
He called us children?
Okay, now what did we say about that?
I have no experience setting up tents, and the poles, to me, it was just like a puzzle. Lay the poles on top of the tent. This is what I'm gonna do. Here, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna... This is my tent. All right, that's great. This on top?
Okay, I'll help you. If it hadn't been for me, I don't think Debbie would have been sleeping in a tent last night. And then this comes up to the top.
Oh.
See?
So easy.
It's easy.
So easy.
Even a Bigfoot could do it.
Going into the deep woods itself has got to be an adventure.
Oh. Good Band-Aid will take care of it. The other thing we had to do was set up game cameras in the woods.
Okay, Rich, Rob, you guys are gonna come with me. We need to grab the shovel because I'm gonna have one of you guys set up a track bed. If you were a Bigfoot, where would you walk?
I would probably walk along the water. Because, I mean, every animal needs water, right?
These are Snapshot Sniper game cameras. They use a 4.1 Sony megapixel digital camera. This is a nice flat area here, so what I'd like to do is kind of clear this out, dig it up a little bit, and then I want you to just kind of sprinkle a little bit of debris. We want it about this deep, so if anything does walk by here and we get a picture, we'll also get tracks. While you guys do that, I'm gonna go ahead and set this up on the tree right here.
I'm going to supervise your digging.
You keep it up, Rich. I'm going to be digging a hole that's about 6 feet deep. Come on, clean some up, will you?
Yeah, right.
Clean some stuff. Clean an area.
There we go. Cleaning this out.
What are you doing? Stand up. Use your foot. Just clean it, and I'm going to dig it down.
All right.
Just clean it first.
All right, good. Just like this? Good.
Yeah. Looks all right?
You guys did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
I actually made something else, just in case. You never know if he reads or not.
Bigfoot.
But you never know.
Next, a mysterious call echoes through the darkness.
Up and down kind of sound, kind of like woo.
I definitely heard it. It was absolutely real.
And later, a scary nighttime hunt for Bigfoot.
You have an injury.
Once we got to the camp and we set up our tents, we were excited to get going with setting our lures and the cameras for Bigfoot.
We've got a surveillance camera. It records color during the day, black and white infrared video at night.
One of the orders of business was to hang the meat that we had bought at the butcher shop to attract Bigfoot. Want to tie a rope from one tree to the other and we'll string it up?
We all agreed we'd like to get it far enough away from camp that if a bear happened to show up that we wouldn't have a bear in our camp.
Oh,
crap. Rob is a macho guy. He's the guy that had to climb the tree.
We get up in that tree, up about 10 feet, 12 feet up.
You know, I think that sometimes Rob gets impatient.
We got like literally 3 minutes.
The tree was really big around. It was not that easy to climb.
Rob,
whoa,
Rob.
I got it. I guess he misunderstood what Autumn told him.
I think that's a little high. I really think we're trying to put it up too high. It's really not necessary to put it that high. Rob, can you just please listen to me for a minute? I'm talking about coming down to about like right here with the camera. That's
no, we could stand on the ground and tie it up
That's
there.
what I've been trying to say from the get-go.
I think Rob's doing fine as a team leader. Okay.
So it's about 10 o'clock at night. We're sitting around the campfire, winding down after a long day of investigating. And all of a sudden, Rich finds his personality.
I love you.
He got on that harmonica, and I tell you, he was like just a little kid on Christmas Day.
Oh, got to bend the note there. On a harmonica, on the lower ends, they don't have all the notes, and you got to bend. That's the whole point. It's complicated, but that's why you can play blues on these things. It's so funny.
Everything is a lesson with you, bud. Everything.
I'm sorry. We'll try one more time.
All right, Rich, you're sleeping down here alone by yourself. You know that, right?
I do.
Okay.
There's nobody else.
What's that? Shh. Have fun by yourself.
Good night.
I'm going to.
Good night.
We're all bedded down, we're quiet. If something's gonna come into the camp, that's when it's gonna come into the camp. I had barely fallen asleep when I heard some kind of commotion.
Bill, did you hear that?
Yeah. And then I heard this call. That's all I can call it. It's some kind of a call coming out of the night.
Slightly up and down kind of sound that kind of went like woo.
There was quite a commotion in Autumn and Sky's tent, and I heard zippers fly in.
Very quietly, very quickly. Thermal camera. Still there.
Another battery.
She started trying to call to it.
Autumn's attempts to call it and get a response very clearly echoed from the hillsides, and this thing's voice did not echo from the hillside.
I'm not sure what that was. It wasn't a barking though, it was a woo, woo, woo. Kind of a sound. It was like a deep woo. It's been happening for about the last 5 minutes, and right now it is 2:20 a.m. But we just gotta make sure we got audio rolling the whole time. I think we got that recorded.
I think Autumn thought it was a Bigfoot noise. We discussed it, and she didn't say, oh yeah, that's definitely it, that's a Sasquatch. She just said, it's the kind of sound that I'm used to hearing.
This is from E2V Technologies. It's an Argus thermal imaging camera, and it allows us to pick up the heat signature of any warm-bodied creature. Hey, you don't see anything?
I don't see anything.
Okay. Let's keep the thermal camera handy. We didn't see anything. We haven't heard anything else, so we're going to go back in the tents and just listen for a little while till we can go to sleep or get woken up by something happening again. Good. It's good.
What happened here last night? I'm understanding that there was some noising, some whoops. What's the story here?
Yeah, there was some whooping sound. Started up right after we all went to bed. Sounded to me like it was kind of coming from over there. Everybody was kind of bedded down, I think. And then all of a sudden there was this whoop.
Really?
Yeah.
It was dead to the world. I didn't hear a thing.
What I heard was sounds that were human sounds.
Uh-huh. Did they sound at all like what I just did?
They did.
Okay.
But they were distinctively human.
Okay, well...
You think someone was putting everyone on here? Seriously?
Yes.
I don't believe he's right. I think that he thinks he's right about this, but I think he's completely wrong. I listened to the audio. I heard it.
It's on there.
I heard it. I definitely heard it. It was absolutely real. And that was not from within the camp. No way.
Debbie showed us the casts that she had borrowed from Dr. Meldrum, along with a latex impression that she took from one of the casts.
Just like in human fingerprints, there's bifurcations where one ridge splits into two. There's ending ridges that ridges just come to an end point in space.
That's pretty good indeed. I'm becoming impressed by the amount of evidence for Bigfoot, for Sasquatch that I've seen so far. I definitely think that there's enough to consider that there's a creature that's out here.
Coming up, hoaxing the film. Rob has some big shoes to fill.
I said that this tape was easily faked. Let's see if I can make it happen.
I hope he survives the experience.
3, 2, 1, go.
We're looking into how easy is it to fake evidence. What we wanted to do was create a video that could be passed off as an amateur video of a Bigfoot sighting, just like the two most famous videos, the Patterson 1 and the Memorial Day videos.
So I've talked a pretty good talk this time. Doc, it's a blurry picture. The guy in a monkey suit. I could fake that. It was my turn to walk the walk, so I had to get suited up. You gonna help me get dressed?
Yeah, we got to make you brown and furry. He's been ragging on Bigfoot, poor defenseless Bigfoot, all this time. You think it's so easy to fake? Then you got to put the suit on.
Hey, help me out here, will you? You can't reach the friggin' thing. Clean off the crap off it. Can you tie it together? Get a piece of rope or something. What are you trying to do?
We're trying to start the zipper.
Where's the leg? Oh, hold on, I'm stuck. You gotta grab the meat of the foot.
I felt a little bad though because it was very heavy.
I'm not comfortable on the ass. No, I'm good. I'm not taking my pants off.
It's going to be really hot. This boy is going to wear himself out, and I hope he survives the experience.
All right, put the mask on. Let's go. Let's do it. Don't let the other team members come down and see me yet. I want to see their reaction.
Holy Tremos, Batman!
When I first saw Rob as Bigfoot, I really had to laugh. He looked great. I mean, it was a great costume. I'm still laughing thinking about it. We're going to try to do like the Memorial Day type of shot. There's a meadow right up over this way. It's pretty close by. And you're going to have to do a little bit of a trot across the meadow.
Make it look as real as the other one did, okay? Shake the lens. Gotta swing the arms. Gotta swing the legs.
There you go, you got it. What does it look like down there, Deb?
You know what? It doesn't look half bad.
We're going to pretend that we're just out here shooting the meadow.
Okay.
Oh, what a nice meadow. And then you can say, or one of us can say,
Oh, look.
What's that?
Action, cut to 30.
Hey, this is gorgeous.
Quite a meadow.
So when it was finally time to start filming and get going, I decided I'm gonna give this everything I got.
3, 2, 1, go.
What? Hey.
What is that?
Look at this. Look, Deb.
Oh my
Deb.
gosh.
I hit a little bump in the road.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna fall. I put money on it.
I'm okay, I'm okay. Hit the log.
Oh, it's almost 2 big feet in the air.
I hit a big log. But you know what? That wasn't gonna deter me. I decided I'm gonna try it again.
Action. Good, 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 good.
And this time, I made it a little further.
He's doing well. He's doing really good.
That looks like Bigfoot.
It was a different bump.
Come on, we almost got it. Whew. He's disproving his own theory. He says this is easy to do. He's like, dude, I can do this, no problem.
After 2 failed attempts, I gotta tell you, the suit was really starting to wear on me. Not only was it heavy and bulky, but I mean, I'm covered in 4 inches of fur, and it's 90 degrees during the day here.
Then we had to have a little conference.
Run to me as fast as you can, run! Okay, so you see my point?
Rob was unhappy.
Can you unbutton me for a sec here? Because I need a breather, because I'm like literally dying.
Oh my God. You got my sympathy, man. He didn't like the terrain. It was too difficult. So we selected another spot.
I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna walk till I get to about this point.
2, 1, go.
I'm getting this on camera. Deb?
Is it recording? You sure?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tougher than I thought it would be. But then again, I didn't expect to be running across this terrain, but that's not really an excuse. It was tough to do.
Yeah, we'll see how this looks.
Okay.
It was really important to me to do a Bigfoot cast, so I wanted to show that it is possible to make a plausible looking cast.
All right, Deb, so we have to make a Bigfoot footprint and try to fake it.
We went out and found a good location to lay down some soft dirt. It was really harder than I thought to make the footprint in the ground around here. We had a little problem with the dental stone.
It might not be that
It
bad.
might not be that bad.
It's pretty bad. Okay, me and Bigfoot, we're not getting along. That's all there is to it. It's over. I'm not feeling too confident about this.
Neither am I.
We'll brush it. You know what? It's a lot better than I thought it would come out to be.
Me too. Too bad.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the film. If anything, I know we're all gonna have a couple laughs. I came out of that starting gate like a...
Like a
I
big roller.
What?
What is that?
Perfect. Yeah, it was not bad, and then boom. Poor Bigfoot.
Clearly, it didn't look as good as the Memorial Day film or the Patterson film. But it wasn't bad for a first shot.
I think in totality, making a hoax of Bigfoot with the cast and the films was a lot harder than Rob initially thought. We had a couple days and we tried our best and didn't really do it.
Next, the team makes a final attempt to lure Bigfoot in the dark.
I'll say this, being out in the middle of the deep woods alone at night in the dark, it is a little scary. I did hear something.
Our last assignment for the night of our expedition was to go out into the woods and sort of make calls to Bigfoot, you know, draw a Sasquatch creature into us.
Rob and Debbie, I'm gonna split you guys into a team. And here's your tool.
Nice.
Right.
I gotta bang the tree, right?
Bill and Rich, we're gonna have you guys do call blasting. This is your volume and your on switch.
Got it.
Bill, we're gonna have you use your vocal cords.
Okay.
Excellent.
So they're going down by the lake, and Debbie and I should just probably go out into the woods and find a tree that we can take a swing at.
Right.
Okay. Exactly. Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Let's do it.
Well, the good thing is we have a bat in case he does show up.
It was really dark when we went out to the forest, but luckily I had a night vision goggle and I was able to sort of scan around and see if there was any wildlife in the area.
Rich, go ahead and play track 13, full volume. Team 1, go ahead and give 3 big whacks on the side of a tree. Bill, we want some of your vocal talents now.
That was really good.
Bill, you are amazing. I was just saying you are the best Sasquatch caller I have ever heard. Okay, let's stay quiet for about 2 minutes and listen, please.
I'll say this, being out in the middle of the deep woods alone at night in the dark, it is a little scary. I did hear something.
There were a couple of times where your mind plays tricks on you and you hear footprints, or you spin around and you think you see something really quick. Did you hear that?
Debbie, stop quiet.
There was no answer back to our bats or to our vocalizations.
No, we haven't heard anything.
We want to try to draw these things in, so go crazy and have fun.
I didn't see any wildlife outside of Rob.
Team 1's heading back to base. We have an injury.
Oh, my finger's bleeding.
Yeah, Rob got a cut. You go ahead and head back.
This morning we wanted to review the infrared camera tapes that we had placed by our meat lure.
This is the camera that was recording on the meat last night. Got a deer, and I also got some footage of a flying squirrel on here. We haven't gotten a Sasquatch on these cameras so far.
Animals did come to that meet. And so if there's a Sasquatch, it's reasonable that given enough time, sure, why not?
As our expedition is starting to wind down, I just want to kind of find out where all of you guys are at and let you know where I am. After being able to fake the cast, fake the film, although not the greatest fakes, but we were able to produce something, and the lack of evidence at the meet and at the footprint cameras, I gotta say that I'm just not believing in Bigfoot.
Regarding the sum total of everything that we've done, just because you can fake evidence doesn't mean that all the evidence we've looked at has been faked. Okay, that's a very big assumption.
I agree.
There are thousands, as I understand it, of these casts that have been collected. If you're going to assume every one of them's a hoax, that's a pretty big assumption as well. I'm coming away from this thinking that, you know, what's the big deal about assuming that there may be a Bigfoot?
I was impressed with the sounds that we heard. I think we all agreed that the witnesses that we talked to, they seemed fairly sincere. But the sounds that I heard, I don't know what it was. I'm not convinced by any means that it was a Bigfoot. But I am convinced that something or someone was out there making sound.
As far as our hoaxes go, I think we did a pretty good job for the time we had and the materials we had out here at making an okay hoax. The biggest question that we came out with of this investigation is, if it's all a hoax and it's all fake, what is the motivation there?
At the end of this expedition, I think that we can conclude that we still differ in our opinions to a degree, but at the same time, the eyewitness testimony, clearly something that we all agreed on, still can't be explained. So, who knows, maybe there is a Bigfoot out there.
Next on Sci-Fi, The Outer Limits.
Your heart's desire. Maybe your worst nightmare. The Twilight Zone New Year's Marathon starts this Sunday on Sci-Fi.